Okay, time for the holy grail, color temperature. Color temperature is a theoretical idea, meaning there's no way you can measure it. It's not like hue, saturation, or value, which can be measured by a scale. In other words, those things can exist independent of anything else. Color temperature needs context. You cannot have an isolated color and assign it a temperature. A color temperature can only exist when it plays off of another color temperature. It needs context. So let's begin the conversation because color temperature is critical to understand for those who want to be good at color. The two overall terms we use for color temperature is warm and cool. Every color temperature falls under one of these categories. And of course, there are varying degrees of warm and cool. I think we all inherently know what a warm and cool color is in general. And I'm going to get theoretical for a second, but I think it has to do with evolution. Consider the word warm. Well, if you're living out in nature, what is one of the main things that is associated with warmth? A fire, right? A fire is physically warm, and it's played a part in human growth for millions of years. So I think it's very plausible to consider that we think of warm colors as being related to the colors of a fire. We have reds, oranges, yellows, anything in that range. We universally agree these are warm colors. To keep going with my theme of survival, what do we associate with cool colors? Well, how about icy waters, cold skies, distant mountains? These things all remind us of what it feels like to be cold. And therefore, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that that's how we define cold colors. Blues, purples, maybe even some greens, cyans, turquoise. There are actually many more cold colors than warm colors. Speaking parenthetically here, that's actually something we're going to exploit later in our paintings, so keep an eye out. Now, I want all of you to internalize this fact. Warms and cools are opposites. Or in art lingo, they're complementary. Taking a quick look at the color wheel, we can easily see that the warmer colors are on the opposite end of the spectrum than the cooler colors. Does this remind you guys of anything? It reminds me of values and how values lived in families. Well, guess what? Warms and cools live in families just like values. The only difference with color is, value had that clear fence line between light and shadow. Color doesn't quite have such a strict delineation. It's more subtle. More transitive, let's say. Like I said before, color temperature relies on context, and like many things in life, context involves nuance. So let's start taking a look at that.